As the U.S. slowly recovers from the pandemic, Shen Yun starts its 2021 tour with 3 sold-out performances this weekend at Stamford, Connecticut's Palace Theater.
Wonderful. Yeah, very beautiful. I love that it's done in vignettes and tells the story. It brings a lot. You know, we didn't know anything about it coming to see it, and it sets it up and then shows us the story. It's in nice, it's very well done.
Audience members say it's an uplifting and educational experience.
I've been smiling the entire time, just the colors, the flow, the story, all of it. It's beautiful.
The singer was amazing. The singer was very, very good. The storyline, how it's explained, for somebody like us that never experienced something like this is very, very important, the way they were explaining it. We're just talking, I think that the men were dancing beyond, and she thinks the ladies are dancing very, very well. So, but the show's just an amazing show. It's a great experience.
I love the history of it, and I love the importance of it and how it goes back through time, and just, it's great.
Shen Yun Performing Arts' mission is to revive 5,000 years of Chinese culture, a divinely inspired culture from before communism took over.
It's very interesting to learn the tradition and all of the heritage behind all the dances and the songs and the flowers and the sleeves and the elegance of it all. It's very interesting to learn that, and I guess we're blessed to be invited today to learn a little bit more culture.
It's a very divine culture, and it's a very old and ancient culture, and it should not be forgotten. It basically creates awareness with Shen Yun that ancient Chinese culture should come back, and it should challenge the communist regime as well. And maybe someday it will prevail over communism in China.
The performance is returning by popular demand, with 3 more shows at the Palace Theater in July. NTD News, Stamford, Connecticut. On July 24, Shen Yun Performing Arts once again returned to Stamford, Connecticut to perform 3 additional shows in 2 days. Sam Shakovsky, the associate director of Boehringer Ingelheim, one of the world's largest privately owned pharmaceutical companies, came to see Shen Yun with his wife and his twin daughters.
I loved it. It was spectacular. The costumes were amazing. The dancing was gorgeous. The music was beautiful. It was just phenomenal.
Exactly. Everything was just fantastic. We saw the commercials on TV, and it exceeded all expectations. It was just amazing, the abilities of all the performers. It was just outstanding.
Accompanying the classical Chinese dance, Shen Yun's own live orchestra blends classical Western and Chinese instruments. Shakovsky says he's seen many other performances and feels that Shen Yun is in a league of its own.
It's a unique performance. Having seen a number of Broadway shows and comparing this to that, it's completely different. It's just a wholly brand new experience that doesn't equal anything else out there.
The singers had amazing voices, and the instruments were incredible. I had never heard that, I don't know what it was called, the 2-string instrument that she was playing, but it was great. I loved the combination of that and the piano together.
Shakovsky's daughters are both swimmers. They say it feels like more than just a performance.
Well, I felt really inspired afterwards because it was really cool how they performed, and you could really see like their emotions, I guess, as they performed.
Since the Communist Party seized power, they've systematically destroyed ancient Chinese culture. Shen Yun's mission is to revive China's authentic traditional culture that built its 5,000 years of civilization.
It's a valiant effort to do so, to bring back the culture that has been extinguished in the country. I think that's a wonderful idea, and I hope more people can see it.
NTD News, Stamford, Connecticut.
I saw a long-lost art that we aren't able to see in China. These arts are so perfect, but innovative, surprisingly. When I saw it, I was really excited from the bottom of my heart. In some scenes, I didn't cry, but I did wipe away some tears. My companion also saw me wiping tears away. It was really moving.
Mr. Dong saw Shen Yun in Connecticut on Saturday. Shen Yun travels the world performing with a mission to revive China's 5,000 years of culture. They've been doing it for 15 years. But there's one place they can't go, China. Mr. Dong came from China 2 years ago. He says he's saddened he can't see his own country's cultural heritage within its own borders.
The culture that Shen Yun showed us today is the culture that we as the people accumulated and passed down for thousands of years. But it's been completely destroyed at the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. I feel very delighted today that I could see our culture, but I am also saddened because we have to go overseas to be able to see our true culture.
Shen Yun draws inspiration from ancient Chinese culture, which is believed to be divinely inspired. Mr. Dong says he was deeply moved by the show's inner meaning.
It also allows us to see the kingdom of God. It also allows us to see that, as ordinary people, we want to become people in the kingdom of God. The performance shows us that we have this path to yearn for.
He added that he sees hope and a future for China.
There will be a future for our nation, but the premise is to disintegrate the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP. Disintegration of the CCP will bring our nation, our country, a better future, just like the beauty presented through Shen Yun.
Mr. Dong expressed his deep gratitude to Shen Yun for allowing the world to see what China was before communism. Shen Yun Performing Arts will show next in Colorado Springs from July 27th to 29th. NTD News, Stamford, Connecticut.
It's been over a year, but the Shen Yun Performing Arts is back to the West. Its first stop is Colorado Springs. The company received 7 proclamations welcoming them to Colorado, declaring it Shen Yun Week. Let's hear what the audience has to say.
I just soaked it all in. The sounds, the orchestra, the colors, the dancers, all the beauty of the movement. It was wonderful.
I appreciated the themes of a creator and a heaven and divine beings with eternal aspects.
I learned a lot tonight about how Chinese culture has positively affected mankind.
Shen Yun's mission is to revive 5,000 years of a divinely inspired civilization. Much of it was lost in the last century when the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, destroyed it.
I was very moved to watch it in dance. In that short of a period of time, has encapsulated the suffering.
The real China is the Chinese people, and the beauty of their culture is on display here right now.
The Chinese people are a wonderful culture, but their government and their politics have invaded and destroyed their images, their own people, and this makes it more real, more understandable.
The performance depicts how the CCP harms people for their faith in the divine.
Made me more aware in a very real way, right? I know those things, but then to see it played out and portrayed was very, kind of hit me in my stomach, and it was very profound. Made the reality much more real.
What the Chinese culture may be portrayed as today through the CCP and the influence on propaganda and media, and it could get skewed, and performances like this kind of recapture, I think, a little more of the history of the Chinese people that might help the world.
I studied Chinese culture in college. Tonight gave me the opportunity to take what I had studied in the past and bring it together in a cultural way that really gave me a greater appreciation of the Chinese culture and why it's so important that this message gets out to the rest of the world.
The troupe heads for Greeley next. Eileen Ang, NTD News, Colorado.